Oh,
It'd be
no.
really funny if it does.
Okay, it says it's recording.
All right. Hello and welcome back to Bad Ping CyberTwits main podcast. This week we have myself, Megan, along with our resident Floridian, Laura, and our games goblin, Matt, and introducing the 0.5 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Nay!
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
I'm back for 5 seconds and she already hates it.
The issue is I also have the power to kick you if I so chose, but I'm not going to do that because I feel...
It's really funny.
Oh my gosh. The mask is worth it though. Just for the intro and then just be done with it.
Yeah, because I feel like that just gets too hot.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't imagine.
because I'm about 2 weeks removed from having some sort of an infection pushing on my nose.
No, that's fun.
Yeah, let's not suffocate you, please.
Let's not. I've already almost died this year. Let's not. Let's not.
Me too.
Huh?
He said me too.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
We all almost always die, but like, in Florida news, hurricane season might be starting 2 weeks early.
Oh no.
My brother's kind of angry about it because his birthday is June 1st, which is the start of hurricane season. It's the one thing he has. But they're thinking of starting at like May. Oh god, it's like May 15th, I think, or like the 17th or something.
Why is it starting early?
Because of the pressure systems and the climate and everything else. They're thinking storms are going to start forming earlier.
I thought maybe Carl the crocodile saw his shadow, but
it would more be like Alan the alligator, because Florida. I mean, we do have crocodiles too, but still.
Well, Alan the alligator's still at Wendy's.
He needs his chicken nuggets.
That's fair. That's very fair. I still go to watch that video occasionally. It's the most fucking hilarious thing. A guy is throwing an alligator to a Wendy's fucking drive-through window.
But the most Florida thing that would have happened is the alligator actually doing jobs at Wendy's.
Mm-hmm.
That's like.
But speaking of seeing his shadow, Puxatawny Phil, says that it's going to be 6 more weeks. He says it's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. Texas went, hold my beer. We're doing this in 6 days.
Hey, you guys got Minnesota. You guys got Minnesota.
We did. We did hard.
The thing that I hate that people like wit about it, it's like, oh, Texans are weak, this, that, the other. It's like, no, their infrastructure isn't built for it. It's the same thing. If that happened in Florida, I'd be dead.
So,
like,
okay,
I'd be dead.
I'm going to point this out, though. Why the fuck did they all go driving in that? Like,
because they're idiots.
Even we don't go driving in that.
This is Texas.
I'm
they
aware
don't
of
give a
that.
shit.
I'm aware
They're
of that.
already trying to kill each other.
That's a valid point, but like,
okay,
even
so,
then.
Matt, do me a favor. Google how many snowplows there are in the state of Minnesota.
There currently is like 0 because all the snow melted, but...
No. Just in general, how many snowplows does the state of Minnesota have?
How many snow piles?
Snowplows.
Snowplow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we have enough snowplows in one city that...
800.
There's more than Texas. One city has more snowplows than all of Texas. So I give you that. There still are snowplows that can work the highways. And also, if there aren't snowplows... Oh my
God!
Right, the state of Texas has 700 snowplows in the entire state. And we are the second largest state.
More than I expected.
More, but in square area footage of like population, 700 in Texas to 800 in like Minnesota is nothing. Like the radio of that is fucked.
Mm-hmm. Because we had so few snowplows, the only things that got plowed were the highways, and even then they weren't plowed correctly.
Yeah, but like even then, my point is, why do you like if the weather is so shit? Obviously, the roads were frozen because freezing rain. Like, why the fuck did they go out?
I'm gonna do this.
Why did they go driving? Don't go out in that. Like, call in work, say, hey, I'm not driving in this shit. I'm staying home.
Capitalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Capitalism.
You're
Say it with me.
Logic
Capitalism.
I am applying logic to the human cesspool of the United States. No,
Exactly.
that'd be Florida.
I don't think anyone
Texas.
can apply logic
Whatever.
to the United States of America.
That's true.
Well, they can try. They're just in a mental hospital after.
Oh, speaking of the dumbass United States of America, I don't know if I covered this on one of the Bad Pings or Tea and Twits, but I think I remember mentioning how I may have committed tax fraud.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
No, you didn't.
Well,
I got a letter from the IRS. It's taking me to fax the shit this week. And the issue was the government told me I didn't have this form, and then I got the form 2 days after I filed my taxes. I called the government and they had no record of me having this form.
That's fun.
I'm sorry? How do you not have a record of a form I need to do my taxes that you've already mailed by the time I'm calling you?
Oh my
I
God.
have a record that it's been mailed.
You'd think.
But hey, not committing tax fraud. Don't know if I owe the government money now, but no clue.
It'll be revealed soon.
I had to go through this form. I looked at it for about half an hour at work and I went, I can't fucking do this. So I brought it home and it took both my mom and I like an hour to figure out what the fuck they were asking.
What was the form?
It's form 80, form 8962, I think. The premium tax credit form, or it's the PTC. It's the 9864. The premium tax credit, because I get my insurance to the marketplace, even though I go through an insurance agency who gets it from the marketplace type thing. I don't have insurance through my job.
Right, you buy your insurance rather than the Affordable Care Act.
Shit insurance, because my doctor still doesn't call me back, even though they've texted me twice and said, "Hey, make an appointment." I would love to. But by the end of the month, I should have a new doctor. So let's hope.
Well, speaking of doctors, so I told you guys about the infection that was pushing on my nose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got to the point where I had to go to the ER, and the doctor there, I'm giving him full credit because he gave me something for both a dental infection and a sinus infection.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, those are not fun. Separately or together.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And he's there. You should go to a dentist, get checked out, all this and that. Yeah. The insurance I have, there's no dentist near me.
Yeah.
Oof.
Dentist? I didn't go, I stopped going to dentists because I had, a traumatizing experience with one. Mm-hmm. I recently found one last year that I've been going to for a year regularly. Yeah. And I've seen the same, I saw Dr. Huller the first time because he had to, literally do surgery on two sides of my mouth. Mm-hmm. Because they were rotted and shit, and, a botched root canal. Ooh. And I haven't seen him since. I'm gonna see him in May, but it's night and day, and even still with insurance, I think I pay $100 a visit or more. Nice. My crown that I got, the entire price for the crown between surgery, Novocaine, the crown itself, everything was $600. It was $800, but he knocked the price down for $200.
Damn.
Wow.
No more.
Not bad.
Yeah.
And
I need
out of pocket, regularly, that would have put me in debt. That's with insurance.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's decent insurance. On that one, I'm still on my mom's dental. Thank God.
Coming from someone who works in insurance.
I deal with insurance daily too at my job. It's not fun. I literally have to call and yell at insurance companies because they're just oh no, we put that through. It's no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I have record that I called you 2 days ago and you said you didn't get it. Guess what? Called the doctor. They sent it to you last week. What the fuck's going on? Yeah. And I try and be nice because some of them have no control.
Right.
And then it's the same ones that are blatantly lying to me, and then they're giving me proof that they're lying, and I'm where does this make sense in your head?
The bad thing for me is I actually work on state Medicaid. That's the branch of insurance that I work with. And it's heartbreaking because I'm like, I can't pay this through because there's missing things that your provider is not sending us.
Yep.
But two, it's like these providers will send in the same claim 15 different times and be like, we need more money. It's like, you're not getting more money. Your contract's right. Stop mailing it in.
That's the whole thing. It's like, hey, like, are you sure your contract with like this insurance company is okay? Because that's how we know. It's like, I will go to one of my pharmacies and I'm like, hey, you said you can take this, but this claim is still coming out like this. The prior authorization has already gone through and stuff is not happening. Like, please check your contract with them. Like that happened 2 years ago with one of like the pharmacies we had like a year previous because we were still fighting the claim. And it was like, no, like look at your contract with that insurance company and see what the fuck is happening. Because like the doctor's done everything they can, like they've sent everything through. I've talked to the insurance company at that point at least 20, if not more times, way more times, like across the entire year of fighting something. And then like the parents and all they can on their end. So there has to be something on like their end. I just bit my tongue as I toss and that fucking sucks.
That sucks.
And it makes no sense to me. Like these people whose jobs it are, it's like know like where their stuff is, make sure it's in order, and they don't. Like it just makes no sense to me.
Right.
And it's like I hear your stories about it, and I'm like, that's why I can't get angry at some people sometimes because it's like, oh, I know it fucking sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
You just know that
There's
stupid.
like the big box companies. I don't give a shit. I'll fucking scream at them.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. I was just going to say, there's good people and there's bad people and there's stories.
Exactly.
Stupid.
And then there's just fucking stupid people.
Well, we're not talking about Florida.
Listen, bitch, you're not wrong, but only I can say that, and so can Logan because he lives here.
Right. I'm gonna segue off of this topic because I have a Dairy Queen question for Matt.
Yes.
I forgot he works at Dairy Queen. Okay, I was like, why?
Most people do.
I forgot. Oh god,
I usually think he works on a corner.
Yeah,
well,
I just actually got off of a 12-hour shift of working my corner.
Oh,
so sorry.
So I saw a video on TikTok of someone that had to make a custom. You've seen this video too. Make a custom ice cream cake at Dairy Queen.
Yes.
Is there a limit to what you can or the customer can and can't ask for to be written on there?
I don't really think so. You could probably, if you so wanted and were willing to pay extra, probably ask for a paragraph. But
no, I'm meaning like
probably just shouldn't.
Profanity.
Oh, profanity. Depends on who's working.
Wise. Depends on the store.
It totally depends on who's working. I thought you were talking about word number, like you said.
No.
I'm like, well, you could probably do a paragraph, but you'd probably have to pay. No, you could absolutely ask for language and swearing, depending on who's working that night.
That's where I would not put in an online order. I would walk in and be like, hey, I have this weird request and I'm so sorry, and make sure there's no children around.
You'd also have to like probably have to be there that next day, like or at least that day. Right. Like you'd probably either walk in and request. You couldn't do it over the phone, but you could probably walk in and request.
Right, of course.
Right employee is working. They'd probably do it.
The right employey.
Completely unrelated.
Because my bosses would never. My bosses wouldn't do it. They wouldn't allow it. I mean, well, they might, I don't really know. I guess if they would allow it, but they wouldn't do it themselves.
Yeah.
Right. Laura, I was gonna go back and try to find it because I know I sent it to you.
We've sent too many TikToks for that to happen.
There's too many. I was gonna go try and find it. I'm like, no, because I send you about 50 a day. So
yeah, I think I have currently like 20 sitting from you.
Jesus.
No, and the thing is, they updated the thing. So on like the notifications, it says I have 3, but I have 3 separate people who have sent me. Like I have like 20 something from Megan. I have about 35 from my friend Kiki, and then I have like 10 from my brother. Because it used to like add them up and say, hey, you have like 45 messages, and that would get my anxiety going for me to be like, fuck, I can't do this. And then they updated. Now it just says 3. So my anxiety is like, oh, it's fine. I can do it later. And then I'll go in and I'll be like, fuck. Because the last week I had 90 from my one friend, 40 from Megan, and 35 from my brother. So I'll go through. Actually, no, not last week, on Tuesday. But that was across 2 days. So I will say that was across 2 days because I didn't look at messages for 2 days.
But I remember I saw the video. I sent it to Laura. I was going to send it in the group chat.
If I find it, I will put it in the group chat.
Yeah, because it was funny
for quite a while.
What?
I said you'll be digging for quite a while.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes I'll accidentally scroll on it and I'll just randomly come across a video that's still fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was just wondering how profane you can get.
Sorry about that, Megan. Does anybody know if Facebook updated how many notifications you could have? Last I checked, it was 99 max.
It's 99 plus is what it goes to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I know because my mom always has 99 plus at this point. She plays games and stuff, so it's all games and stuff.
Yeah.
I just remember playing.
I want to find out because this is like the 9th year anniversary of me and a friend personally trying to get another friend to 100 plus notifications on Facebook.
It's gonna go 99 plus. It's never gonna go to 100. I'm so sorry. And so now they stack like things together.
Yep.
Oh, I hate them.
Oh, great.
Yep. So you'll have this person like this, as well as this person and this person and this person.
Ow.
Well, good thing I'm not on Facebook all that often anymore.
Yeah. So I have grievances with Facebook.
Oh God.
More specifically with Facebook dating.
Oh,
not necessarily with the algorithm. It's not necessarily with the algorithm itself, because I've actually been getting decent people this time. Stop laughing, you.
I have some stories.
It's not with it's not with the algorithm itself, because I've been getting really decent people this time. What I have grievances with is when someone sends a link in the chatting, you can't click on it to let it go somewhere so you can see what the thing is. But you also can't copy whatever it is to put it in an external browser to find it. And it's very irritating.
Weird. Do they use like a different chat function than like what regular Messenger is?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they use it's an internal chat function in Facebook dating.
Which is so weird.
All right.
Why wouldn't they just use the regular Messenger function? And just
I don't know.
Right.
And then add like stuff like if you want to block them or don't talk to them anymore, like and like the things like that makes more sense to me than creating a whole new chat function.
Right. See,
the other thing is Facebook dating is only on the Facebook app for phones. It's not on desktop, so you can't look at any of your messages. It's not there. I went and looked.
Yeah,
it asked me to sign up on my desktop, but I haven't gone into it. I refuse.
Yeah, I don't think it's on desktop at all. It would be.
I mean,
it could be on the desktop app.
I would rather have it be.
So I think there's a desktop app, but
I downloaded the desktop app on my computer, and it's still not on there.
Oh, that's weird.
It's just a duplicate of whatever the Facebook desktop is.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Anyway. This is a great
you
segue.
can only get it on your phone.
But
hang on, I'm almost done.
I'll let you finish.
I will let you segue.
But I have some.
Yeah. So, but also make it its own app. For Pete's sake, just make it its own app, please.
I would like that, so I don't get notifications for it.
Through different things to try and get it.
Yeah. Anyway, Facebook dating is an interesting place, I've learned.
Oh no.
What'd you do?
So I haven't had any thoughts like Megan gets on Instagram. But I'll occasionally swipe through it because I'm bored and
yeah.
Well,
and oh my god, there are some insane people in that fucking place.
Yeah.
does that surprise you?
I see so many it's just so many insane, just these nuttiest like one chick was like, I'm 23 years old, I'm into goth and I'm atheist, but then it goes on to say that she's a vampire and that she's a Wiccan and that I'm like, oh my fucking god,
That's a thing.
seriously, but
That's a legit thing.
No,
as someone
I know,
who's met
I know,
most
I know.
of them.
Wiccan is like, I know that's
no,
a
the
thing,
vampire thing.
The vampire thing.
vampirism, like straight up. I'm like,
It's
Jesus
a
Christ,
legitimate
woman.
thing. Yeah.
I know it's a legitimate thing, but I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna just like.
Okay,
Well,
but
she doesn't believe in that.
Okay, but vampires, are we talking the Nosferatu type or are we talking the Edward Cullen type? Because there's going to be a distinct difference.
Yeah, I mean,
not the Edward Cullen
one
type.
sparkles.
Not the Edward Cullen type.
It was really, because like I was just thinking about it. I was sitting there looking at that and reading through it, and I'm like, did she mean like actual vamp? Like, is she buying human blood and consuming it? Is that what I'm reading about? What the fuck?
Go ahead, Laura.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Oh.
It's I don't know how to explain it. I like physically can't, like, you have to research it because I haven't gone like super deep into it. And I'm one of those types of people who I'll deal with it as questions come about, and like if I have questions, I know the person well enough to where I like know I'm not gonna like insult them in some way. I'll ask, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
you can literally Google it.
Yeah, there are some people that will get dental procedures to have fangs implanted.
Yeah.
So that they're permanent. So kind of like veneers. Like I have one of my teeth is a veneer, so people will get okay, that was weird. But people will get fangs veneered on.
And it's not like something you can pick up one day and leave the next. It's like a legitimate lifestyle. Like you have to be introduced into it and like brought into it. You can't just be like, oh, this is me now. It's like, no, it's the best way I can describe it in a way is there's real and then there's fake, just like in the BDSM community. There's real doms, there's fake doms, there's real subs, there's fake subs, there's real people who actually are in this lifestyle, and there's people who are faking it.
Adam's in the
car.
Yeah, no, I got that. I was just like, what the hell is that? Is Megan's cover or Laura's cover fucking rant here getting intense or what?
So yes,
no, that's just a cow right there, Matt.
So yeah, there's oh my gosh,
it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I've got a bad Facebook dating story for you guys. This just happened yesterday too. Oh boy, wait, we can go to our bad ping stories. It's Megan's dating story time, and then Laura can do one of her Uber stories.
Yes. Oh, you have more Uber stories. Oh God.
I have one that happened this week that I'm just livid about.
Okay, so I matched with this guy. He messaged me right away. He's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing good. How are you?" He's like, "Was just scrolling by and I thought you were so beautiful." He's like, "Now tell me a little bit about you." So I told him about myself, and I'm like, "What about you?" And he goes along. It's pretty normal throughout this getting to know me paragraph. Oh, it's good. He said I'm also a sexaholic, because that's casual to bring up.
Yeah.
So I hope that doesn't bug you.
Like, and good for you for like saying it at least.
Yeah, at least you came up with it. Like, at least you're like, yo, if you're gonna be interested, I like to fuck a lot. Like a lot.
It gets worse.
It gets worse. Oh God, it gets worse.
It gets worse.
Fuck, it gets worse. Okay.
So he's like, I hope that doesn't bug you. I said, it doesn't bug me. It takes me by surprise, but it doesn't bug me. I appreciate your honesty. To which he replies, the only reason I say that is because I want to have you bent over my bed, railing you balls deep, having you scream my name as you come. I'm like, and you're getting blocked, good sir. Thanks for playing.
First of all, you don't lead with that.
No.
You don't lead with that.
We could probably write a book on things you shouldn't say.
This was message 5.
One.
Message 5.
Like, okay, 20 plus, I can understand that. Like 20 plus, I can understand that.
He was 21.
Oh boy.
I am 27.
Oh boy.
Afraid for my generation. I'm really afraid for my generation.
I've got
as a 22-year-old, I'm concerned.
Right.
Oh my god.
Millennials.
I don't know. The issue with that is I can't. I hate the whole fucking thing because it's like I hate the Gen Z. I hate it.
They suck.
That's the only bad one I've gotten so far. I'll take that.
Yay. I mean,
that's just ridiculous. Okay, I don't know how to unpack that is the issue.
I do have a story.
Fire.
I do have a story, a similar topic.
Go ahead.
Oh god.
So for about a month, right when the year started, I met a girl on a Facebook group. Mm-hmm. And I was like, cool, let's talk. We started talking. Talked fine for solid, 2 months. But then not 2 months, about, 2 weeks. I get home from vacation, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's from fucking middle of bumfuck nowhere in Virginia. So I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. So I don't, we don't have to like hang out or anything, make plans to hang out.
Bad boy Matt.
Yeah, right. So I get home, and one of the first things that happens is that she yelled at me for fucking no reason at all. I'm like, oh boy, this is fun. What's happening? She was fucking pissed at me for no goddamn reason. So I was like, okay, hooray. And then, things kind of mellowed out. A few nights later, we're, talking, everything's going fine. She tells me that she used to be a man. I'm like, well, that's fun. Turns out she wasn't. Totally lying about it. I was like, yeah, that's funny. You got me.
That's fucking wrong is what that is.
That is. Oh, it was so weird.
That's transphobic as fuck. 100%.
I was like, wait. Like, I mean, I found it I found it funny because it's like, oh, you got me, good one, good joke. That was funny, I guess.
Joke about that.
I didn't laugh, but I was like, well, cool. So yeah, that was the thing that happened.
So I can do something. I fucking hate people like that. Sorry, continue.
So yeah, so then she said, things go fine. Every few nights or so, we'd get into an argument, and then we'd stop getting in, or we'd, things would mellow out, and we'd flirt a little bit and talk normally. And then one night, she got really pissed at me because she had told me she had lied about something that she talked about earlier, which I'm not going to get into. She told me she had lied about that, and I'm like, well, okay, that's fine. I'm not mad that you lied to me about it. I don't give a shit. I didn't have reason to not believe you in that case. So the fact that you lied to me doesn't really affect me. And she went off at that. I'm taking this so well. I'm going to fucking lose my shit over. She was like, I'm going to lose my shit over this. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? I'm just taking this thing. I just took what you told me. You fucking lied to me. I'm like, okay, cool. And now you're fucking mad at me for taking it well. I was like, Matt, oh boy, I got a crazy one here.
Matt, you shouldn't have taken it well.
I don't know what she expected me. Did she expect me to fucking take it wrong? Was I supposed to be upset about it? I didn't have reason.
Why did you keep talking to them is the real question. After the first thing happened.
I mean, because I think Matt's just desperate.
I mean, we know that, but still.
It's I just was like,
you can tell from that first thing that they're just a shitty person.
Yeah. So we kept talking. And eventually one night, just everything fucking went to hell to the point where she called out my parents for raising me wrong. And I'm like, yep, nope, I am goodbye. Fuck you.
Well, don't fuck her.
Well, no, I don't want that.
Madam,
I'm like, bitch.
calm yourself.
You do not. want to fucking say that.
Yeah.
So the next day, I just didn't message her.
That story.
So the next thing, next day, I just didn't message her back. And
you should. Okay, mistake number 40, probably at this point. You should have been like, okay, goodbye, and then block them.
Oh, I did know. So I didn't ghost her. She was like, so I didn't message her back, or I didn't message her again for the rest of the day. So I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm not gonna deal with this. I don't want to deal with this while I'm at work. I want to just have a normal ass day until I get home, and then I'll message message her later, or she'll message me. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna let her message me. So she messaged me. We got into a huge argument, we didn't get into a huge argument. The huge argument happened the night before. So she was like, okay, I guess that's it then. Goodbye. And I'm like, yeah, sorry. You're like, I didn't say it, but my thought process was, yeah, sorry, you're fucking nuts. I'm going to just go out the back door here. But I said, sorry, I really thought this could work. And, you did all the niceties. And then she lost it at that. And I'm like,
out of the way.
Yeah, fuck you, blocked. Like, I was trying to be nice. I was trying to let you down. Like, okay, you're like, I'm sorry that this didn't work. I really wanted it to.
Blunt as fuck, dude. It's not.
Trust me. I was blunt the night before because
you sure?
At one point I told her, like, she was like, all right, let's just lay it out on the floor and tell what we don't like about each other. And I called her out because one thing I noticed through talking, that she had the biggest fucking ego on the planet. I'm like, Jesus Christ, woman. Like, I told her straight up, my issue was her ego. And she straight up denied everything. So I'm like, oh boy, we've got a full-on narcissist. This isn't just a big ego. This is a fucking narcissist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no, you're fucking nuts.
Okay, there's too many things to unpack there, so I'm just not even going to.
Yeah,
I physically can't.
It's a lot.
We're gonna segue from Matt to Laura.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uber, right.
We're back to Uber stories?
Oh, yeah. I have at least one a month at this point. It's insane how many issues I get. And the fact that I have to pay for some of these rides after this shit happens is no bueno, but they're cheaper than Lyft half the time down here. So I get into my Uber, everything's fine. Actually, that's not true. They turn into, because I live in an apartment complex, I'm in front of my building. They stop at the building before mine.
Oof.
And they're stopped there for a solid 5 minutes. Now, if they would have messaged me and just said, like, I sprayed the seats down, I just want to wait for it to dry, I'll be there in like 2 minutes, that would have been fine. No message, nothing. I don't even think he did that. I think they were just fucking sitting there. So then he comes creeping along, stops. I'm here in front of my building, stops all the way, like, at the front by the sign, looks, rolls down his window, looks over at me standing there with my double mask on, with my, like, bag for work, like my lunchbox and shit, and my water bottle, and I'm just like, hello? So he finally turns in, I get in the car, we're on our fucking way, finally, because I'm already
no apologies?
No apologies, nothing. And I always go whenever I get into Ubers, I'm like, hey, who are you here for? Because I don't want to get kidnapped, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I always check the door before I get in to make sure child locks aren't on.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the force lock or whatever it's called.
Right.
Yeah.
Get in, everything's fine. It's for me. We start driving. We get on almost to the Sawgrass, which is the highway, to go before we have to get off the exit for my work. He has his mask down to here.
Oh my
nose
god.
Completely out. I'm like, hey, can you please like put your mask up? And he had the windows like kind of rolled down a little bit, which I'm fine with. But then he rolled all of them up. So I rolled mine down so I can still have stuff because I already knew when I was late, I was going to continue to be late and I would probably have to pay for a whole second Uber ride. I was just done already after that first incident.
Yeah.
Dude continues to, he put it back. I was like, oh, sorry, whatever, like nonchalant. Back down, like not even 2 minutes later. And then we're at a stoplight, like before we get on the highway. He pulls his mask all the way down, takes a drink of water, which you know what, normally cool with, just lazily like this, puts it back down, chills, and then he's like, it's like he puts it back up, back to here, right under his nose. Mind you, this dude's fucking sniffling the whole fucking time.
Oh no.
Oh, that sounds good.
I was like, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Right.
So I get out, I'm at work finally. I never do like the rating or anything until like half an hour, 45 minutes after, just because I don't want them to be in the area. I feel weird they know where I was dropped off.
Right.
Like they'll see the tip, like all that. Like I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
So I wait like an hour and a half, 2 hours, because I'm like, I have to like simmer down so I don't curse at Uber. I rate him like, I think I did 2 stars strictly because he pulled his mask up the second time, like when I asked. They're like, oh, what's the issue? I was like, other, because they didn't have like pickup issue or anything. And then I went, no mask, like no issue / mask issue. I got no reply from Uber.
Oh, geez.
I still have not gotten a reply from Uber, and that was
fun.
Tuesday.
That's fun.
I had to pay $30 for that, and I still tipped the guy because I'm a nice person, and it's like still a thing. I tipped him less than I normally would have, like way less, but still.
Well, that's understandable at that point.
Hey,
it's like I'm still being nice
here's
enough
$1.
to tip you
Wear your
slightly.
damn mask.
I think it was like 2 something. And the issue is they don't give you, like, if you don't rate them, I think like 4 or 5 stars.
Yeah.
You can't write anything in like the comment section. So it's like I couldn't even say like the whole story. And it's like, the fuck? That's
so
what
you should have done was rated him 5 stars and then typed in like, all right, this is an actual 5 stars.
Because that should actually help them more than rating than what I did.
Yeah.
Because it actually gets marked in their system that they had a mask issue, so that it's harder for them when they go to log in for their next ride. Like they have to have like other stuff happen. It's a whole thing. I had a driver explain it to me once. She was great. Then I had a second issue this week.
Oh God.
This dude took a different route, which, you know what, that's fine. I thought I knew the route he was going. It's like the back way instead of going on the highway. Like, that's completely fine. I get it. You may not want to drive on the highway, whatever. This bitch takes the long way around to get to the highway.
Oh, no.
Mind you, we then had to go through half of commercial before we get to the highway, when it would have taken 10 less minutes if we just went down the one main road to commercial, which is literally a stoplight and then a stop sign before you turn on.
So he was trying to scam you out of money.
No, because it's a set rate essentially.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And because it has the GPS, because it's like I'm literally looking on the Uber app, like, okay, what do they have him doing? And I can see his like GPS, so I know what he's doing. Like I know the address is right, whatever. Because in situations like that, I always have Google Maps up on my phone.
Right.
So like maybe I can see what the fuck they're doing. Maybe. Half the time they just don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then this bitch almost misses the fucking turn.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Also, the other pet peeve I have about Uber drivers is when they just stop in the road, like in front of your destination instead of turning in. Because I literally get out in the street.
Oh, geez.
Damn.
It's like, that's unsafe when that shit happens. Like, thankfully, it's like always like at my boss's house or whatever. And it's like, I know that street. No one comes barreling down that specific road. They only come barreling out that specific road. So normally they see me with the door open. And thank God the majority of those neighbors know me.
Right.
But it's just, I hate it so much. And the thing is, I just silently like read and just try not to fucking say shit because I will curse an Uber driver out. Mm-hmm. I will. I've done it before. I will do it again.
See, I just silently curse out the customers under my breath.
Oh, I do that, and I do it like after I hang up the phone, and I like see that the call's ended and everything. Because I have a handheld phone that I can like slam down if I want to, but I'll like hang up the phone. I'll make sure it's done, and then I'll just like whisper, "You fucking bitch." My boss literally turns, because we're in the same office. I'm here, she's here. She turns her desk, she's like, "The phone's off, right?" I'm like, "Yes," because that has happened before to her. She did not put someone on hold, so now she's forever.
Oof.
Yeah. And we got away with it because she was like, "Oh, did you say that to me?" And it's like, "Oh, no, ma'am. I was talking about my Uber Eats delivery person who just threw my food at the door. I'm so sorry you heard that." I took the fall for that. She was like, "Oh, sweetie, it's no problem. I get it." I was like, thank God. I can't.
The right words.
But yeah, I think those are the two worst Ubers that I've had this month. And then the other question I wanted to ask everyone is, both like when you were a kid and like now, how much did you guys read? Like books?
I used to read a lot in school, actually. I read a lot more because like what else was I gonna do? Sit on my phone?
That's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, I read a lot in school. I don't read much anymore, but I want to. I just don't.
Like, are we talking about just for school or school projects or in general?
No, like for like pleasure, like reading because you like to read.
Yeah.
Oh, I never read for pleasure until 7th, 8th grade, something like that.
Yeah. Once he started finding, or once he discovered his dad's Playboys, he started reading for pleasure.
It doesn't count.
Listen, I was 5 when I discovered those.
Oh, good Lord.
So you've been reading for pleasure since you were 5. So you just lied to us.
So I would read for pleasure a lot when I was in like elementary school, but it kind of fell off until about junior and senior year of high school, and then started getting more into reading just for fun. I want to get back into reading for fun, but currently all of my books are in my garage in a box that I can get to.
Fair.
Yeah, same. I've
got Audible right now, so
I count that though. I count that as reading books because you're still taking in the knowledge or the story and all of that.
Right.
Because some people can process the audio better than like actually reading the written word.
Yeah.
Like I get that.
Yeah, I want to actually get a Kindle because I want to like read a lot more.
That goes into my segue.
Again, I have some really good books. Like they're sitting on my fucking side refrigerator.
Yeah, I have like 4 like
actual
books that I have not read because I've just been reading on my phone. So
I got one.
I remembered because we have an Amazon account, obviously, and my brother used to have a Kindle Fire, so we have a Kindle account. And I was like, oh fuck, I can download the Kindle app onto my phone and read from my phone, which is normally where I read anyway, like fan fiction and whatnot. And then like I was carrying around books like everywhere I went, and then that would suck because I would finish it in like the middle of the day and I'd be like, oh fuck. Or it's like I'm reading like this and people are like interrupting me on like if I'm on my phone. People don't interrupt me, which I don't understand, by the way.
Yeah,
that's a secondary thing. I don't understand that. But I got a Kindle app.
Politeness.
I'm reading out of an actual book and they talk to me, but I'm reading on my phone and they don't.
All you'd have to do if you were reading that book specifically is just show them the title page, the cover.
I did do that in Uber when I was reading this.
You gotta do the newspaper thing. Like you're sitting in your chair, right? You're reading. Someone comes up to you, starts talking to you. You go, nope.
So the thing is, can't do that in Florida because it's most likely a crackhead.
That's true. But that's why I wouldn't read.
It's not like I take the bus anymore to deal with that anyway. Because I don't trust the bus anymore right now until COVID's over. But
I wouldn't trust Florida in general, but
that's fair.
Well, that's just common sense.
There might be a fucking crocodile or alligator sitting on that bus.
I have had a duck just walk onto the bus before.
I'm not shocked by that.
Why does that not surprise me?
It was like 2 of them too, because the driver had the handicap ramp down and they were helping someone like lock their wheelchair in, and the ducks just come walking right up because we're at the terminal. We're like right next to a canal, so they lived there.
Oh my god,
that was
and
fucking
so they
hilarious.
just walked on. Did they fucking ride? I hope they rode.
No, because
that's stupid.
Someone went, ma'am, and like to the driver and just pointed as like 3 of us are like fucking laughing because it was like one of my regular bus
I wouldn't have
drivers.
said anything. I would not have said anything. I would have just sat there and been like, there are ducks
clearly
on
it
this
was
bus,
Donald
and
Duck.
this is a great day.
And she fucking lost it. The driver. And she's like shooing him off. And the one wouldn't fucking leave, so I helped her get it off. Because it's like I had a book and I was just kind of shooing it because it was like one of my school books, so it was like a thick textbook.
Yeah,
it's like this could hurt you.
Yeah.
Run.
That reminds me of a story I from in high school.
Let me finish this, then you can do that.
Yeah.
So I got the Kindle app. It's been about 2 weeks. Like tomorrow will make 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone want to take a guess at how many books I have read in 2 weeks?
17.
Oh, I already know the answer.
Did I? Oh yeah, I told you.
Mm-hmm.
17.
Adam?
0.
That's a really shitty number. Matt technically is the closest without going over. I have currently read 29 complete books. I'm on number 30 now. I'm averaging about 2 to 3 books a day, depending on how fast I read them or how much time I have at work, like in between doing stuff. And these aren't like small books, like 50, 100 pages. They are 250 to 450 page books.
Oh, yeah.
I've had at least 4 of these books are 500 page books. The majority of them are about 250 to 300, and that's like legitimate pages. Like that's not including like acknowledgments or acknowledgments or like the end credit stuff. Like that's not counting that.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's not bad.
And the thing is, if I bought all of these books by themselves, I would have probably already spent over $100 on Kindle books.
Definitely.
But there is a thing that Kindle has called Kindle Unlimited, where you're paying. I think we paid $5 for the first 2 months. And they have like 1 million titles.
Wow.
Books.
Damn.
So you can have up to 10 borrowed at a time, like a normal library, and then go through it that way. So it's very funny because I'll load like 3 or 4, and then it's like by the end of the day, it's like I have 0.
Yeah.
I only have like the ones my brother still has in the library.
So you said you've read, about 20, 30 books in the past,
I'm on number 30. I'm on number 30. Yep.
And they're
not even 2 weeks.
400 pages. My dad can knock out a 1,000-page book in like 2 days.
Yeah,
and move immediately on to the next one.
Yeah.
And he does that, and he reads so fucking much, and he just sits there, like no matter what's going on around him, he'll just sit there reading quietly, no matter what the hell is happening on him.
It's good. I love reading so much. It's like having this is reminding me how much I love
too.
reading.
Yeah.
And then the other issue is I'm on Book Talk, which is the side of TikTok that is all about books. And that's dangerous because I will add videos to my favorites where it's like, hey, here are my recommendations for like this genre or this. Like this is like this very specific like things. It's like enemies to lovers, this, and this.
Exactly.
And it's like, here's 4 books that have these things. I have a secondary Google Doc because I'm tracking all the books I've read in 2021 so that come December, we can have like a tally of how many books I've read. And I have a second Google Doc that's to read. I have about 35 to 40 titles on that, but that's only counting first books of series. I have 1 series on there that's 12 books currently.
Oh, good lord.
They're standalone, like separately, like I can read them separately, but I don't do that. I will read all if I like I'll read the first one, and if I like how the author writes, I'm like, okay, add all of them to the library. It's like, okay, we'll get these done in the next 3 days.
If I may make a recommendation,
what?
don't get the Song of Fire and Ice. That's never being finished.
Dude. We own those in paperback. We don't have that.
I mean, they did get finished. They're almost done. Like, he's almost done writing it.
I don't trust that. I assume he's gonna die, and then they'll be put out. I'm assuming he hasn't, like, the day his death is announced is the day that book gets dropped.
Yep.
I feel like it's how he has. Like, it's completed, probably all that. It's waiting in a vault.
It's probably not that old, actually.
Well, he has health problems.
Well, yeah, but still, like, he's probably only like 72 at least.
Probably.
Anyway.
Matt said he has a story, and then we should probably get ready to wrap up.
Yeah, so
I have one more story after Matt, and then we'll wrap.
Yeah. So duck conversation. We were talking about that earlier, and that reminded me of a prank that I played.
Oh no.
The best prank I played in high school. Now, it didn't actually involve a duck. But it did involve someone getting
disappointed.
It did involve someone absolutely shitting their pants. Like, not actually shitting their pants, but anyway. So I'm
confused.
So I took a reading class my senior year. Might have been my senior year. I took a reading class, like just like a English. Sit down and read class, not English. Like a sit down and read. Yeah, a study hall. I think she could or did let you do homework if you so wanted, but I never did because I just wanted to fucking read.
Those are the ugliest fucking. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I got sent a picture on Tumblr of what the Flyers jerseys for St. Patrick's Day look like. And they're so fucking ugly too.
Oh, that's
I don't want to see those.
That's really funny. Anyway, I'm sitting in class. I get to class, right? And my teacher has a big rubber spider.
Mm-hmm.
My classmate who I was sitting next to, I'm like, he's like the cool kid in the grade, but we had been friends, like, sort of. We're the only two people in like the grade that like, or in the class that like wanted to actually sit or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was the only person that he like fucking gave a shit about in that class or something. The rest was like fucking younger kids. And so I get into class and teacher isn't there yet. So I walk over, I grab the spider and sit on his chair. He is terrified of spiders.
Oh no!
You're an asshole.
So as someone who's terrified of spiders, I don't like where this is going.
He gets into
You're
class.
An asshole, and I love it.
So he gets into class. He pulls the chair. Like he pulls the chair out from under the desk and he fucking jumps like 3 feet back. And I just fucking lost it. Oh, it was so funny. It was the single greatest prank I've ever played on someone.
That's so bad.
It was so mean.
Yeah.
It was so funny. It was so funny.
Okay, I have one more story before we close up. So I got my books in for my first grad school class for this next program. And
we're proud of you, by the way, Megan.
Woo.
It'll be interesting to start in criminal justice. So my first class that I'm taking is cybercrime, which is going to be really interesting.
Yes.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well,
I expect to see pictures of like dumb shit. I expect it.
It's going to be interesting.
I expect you to have a lot of things of, this is what a crazy suicidal person looks up.
Well,
it'll probably be mine.
Here's the thing. One of the chapter titles is hacking.
Yes. I'm
Nice.
sorry. As someone who has been asked to maybe attempt it and like learn, it's fucking insane.
Yeah. So one of them is hacking. The other one is child and revenge pornography.
Oh,
like,
that's fun.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
save that chapter just in case we need it at any point, please.
Hacking. I do have an important question about that. If you learn soon enough, I want to do my boss hates the song Cherry Bomb. Despises it. Fucking hates it.
Mm-hmm.
And it plays on one of the stations that we listen to.
Uh-huh.
I think it would be really funny for someone to hack into the radio and just make that song play all fucking day long while he's there. Just that'd be
if I can figure out how to do that, I will do it. But no,
so funny.
But anyway, I start classes on the 29th, I believe, the last Monday.
How many classes are you taking?
Just one for this 7 weeks. The classes are 7 weeks long, so they're accelerated courses.
Accelerated courses are always so much better, in my opinion, completely. Just because I hate no nonsense shit.
So fingers crossed. They said I can graduate in 2 years doing accelerated courses. So I'm only doing one course at a time because I spend 8 hours a day on the computer anyway. I don't want to spend more time on the computer every day.
Are you doing only online, or are you doing like in class too, like in person?
No, it's only online. I'm going through Texas A&M International University, which is headquartered down it's headquartered down in Laredo. Yeah. So I don't really want to have to move down to the border. So it's just all online.
Hey, honestly, online right now, it's probably the best it's gonna be. So
yeah.
And at least you'll have all the resources that you can take like breaks at home and do all that.
Right.
You don't have to buy fucking books.
Actually, I did buy books because I prefer the paperback books so that I can highlight them, but I can also keep them. Yeah. Because like if you do online books, it's only usually about 180 days and then they take it. So
that's always the issue. And you pay like the same amount as what you would pay if you had the actual physical book.
Yeah. Exactly.
I will try and find the website I used to use. If you do want to like only rent the book and then give it back, Amazon is a good place for that. As someone who has like rented textbooks from Amazon, fucking beautiful, because I pay like maybe not even like a quarter of the price for the whole semester, and like I extended it. I extended it by like 30 days at the end because I wanted to like finish reading something like for a next class I was taking. And it was like, okay, yeah, no problem.
Normally I would do something like that, but what is cool about Texas A&M is they actually have an option in their bookstore to use your student loans to pay for the books.
Oh, that's nice. I know when I had stuff with FAFSA and stuff at Broward College, I was all like I could use it. It was like the first 2 weeks is like the time you can buy books with that or whatever.
Yeah. So once my funds got released, they got released on the 8th. So once they got released, I went back, put those books in my cart and clicked to have it pull from my my
student loan
refund that I would have gotten.
Yeah.
So it's already paid for.
That's nice.
Which is nice because it was like $220 worth of books. Yeah, so that way I can keep the book.
For the one book or multiple?
It's $2.
That's not bad. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's not bad. One of them was like $45 brand new, and the other one was 180 something brand new.
$350 for one textbook, and then another $50 on top of that for the code to do the homework.
Yep, I've had to do that as well. It sucks hardcore.
I know, it's the most ridiculous thing. And then it was like the thing where you couldn't buy the code unless you bought the textbook.
Mm-hmm. And that's the hardest part because I'm like, I don't want the textbook. I just want the code. Just give me that.
Well, I learned, so people know, you can get it through the website, like not a code, and then your teacher has like a class in it. They just have to approve you that you're one of their students after you pay them. So it's like, it only works on certain ones though. So it's like,
Right.
But textbooks are a scam.
That's not bad.
Other thing is you can look for Google Drives of certain textbooks and download them. Mm-hmm. Definitely don't do that.
I've seen a lot of that on TikTok.
But you know, options. Don't do that. I'm not suggesting
knowledge is out there.
The knowledge is there for you if you so choose. FBI, don't come for me.
So I will keep you guys updated with how my classes are going. But that starts on the 29th, I believe.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for dealing with us for another podcast. Yes, Adam.
Well, I was just going to say, you talking about your new classes reminded me to tell you guys, I'm going to start looking into schools so I can get into teaching.
Nice.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yay,
as someone who has taken
awesome.
teaching courses, they're not that bad.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
that's what I've heard. It's just a lot of
it's papers.
It's a lot of work.
So it's work. It's more researching and putting stuff into papers, and then there's part of it to where you have to do volunteer work at schools and like put hours in.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to.
I can deal with that.
But you get assigned a class, and you're with them like the entire semester. And if you're doing more than one course, they normally try and place you with the same teacher. So you're with like the same kid sometimes for like a whole year or a whole 2 years, depending on like what your program is. It's so fun.
That's good. I just remember so many times when teachers gave me no chances.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when I got to high school, I had 3 teachers who actually went out of their way to say, "Hey, we're here at lunch. Just come in. We'll help you if you need help."
Yeah.
So I just want to do that for the next generation.
That'll be good.
I always love teachers like that. And then like that's like the one reason why I wanted to go. I like contemplated going into teaching, but I had 4 teachers that told me specifically that they will murder me if I go into teaching in Florida. Wow. Because Florida teachers make nothing. It's horrible to teach.
Oh, okay.
To teach.
I was gonna say, like, Jesus,
if I went
hate
somewhere
you,
else and took my board somewhere else in like a good area and everything else, they're like, yeah, sure, go for it. But if you are staying here for the foreseeable future, which you are, because you're not allowed to leave because we still need you, you're not allowed to go into teaching. Like I told them I took a teaching class, and I remember telling them that, and they both just looked at me and went, "Excuse me." And I went, I'm not, I swear. They said it would be good for the sign language part of it. They also lied to me about that plot twist. But I swear to God, I'm not doing it. Like, I swear.
Okay.
Yeah, just research like your state and the things about it. Like what the teachers are normally paid for incoming or even what subs make. Because once you have certain parts of the degree, you can go into subbing while you continue your education, like to be a teacher.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing though. I'm not going to go into teaching out in Kentucky or anything.
Yeah.
If I do, it's going to be out in the Southwest or West Coast. Just because, well, A, I hate Kentucky, and B, I can deal with the Southwest a lot better.
Come on down to Texas. They're trying to put a bill into law that'll raise teachers' salaries to $75,000 a year.
Damn.
That's still nothing.
Don't tempt me with a good option.
Sorry.
I know.
All right. Okay. With that being said.
Yes. With that being said, thank you for putting up with us for another month. We have been CyberTwits. We have been Megan, Laura, Matt, and Adam. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at CyberTwitsPod.
You have to think about it. You almost said T and Twits.
I almost did. But also make sure to check out T and Twits Pod for mine and Laura's podcast.
Yeah, pretty good.
Thank you.
Make sure to check out the Redbubble store for everything CyberTwits and T and Twits. And we will be back next month with a brand new podcast and brand new cast. So until then, thank you guys so much for being kind to one another. Probably not a brand new cast. Anyways, goodbye.
Bye.